want to preface this video by saying I'm sorry for the mess. This has been a wild holiday with my daughter and living out of the spare room while I slowly save up to purchase a house and deal with all of the car troubles I've had recently. This is actually not going to be a normal, honest car reviews video by a long shot. I know usually I'm giving a review of some kind. Sometimes it's a stretch on calling it a tool. But today we're doing a different kind of video. And I want to post this on Reddit for a reply video. I was supposed to do this yesterday and had phone trouble because there's always trouble. No matter how much you're doing, there's always trouble. So here's the topic of the video. And because I'm sure people may be curious if they're just casually watching. These are the exact same gun. Let's get a little extra light in here. Overlook the mess. Overlook all of it, please. I've not been home in pretty much 2 days. So this is the gun in question that there was a problem with. And this is the gun that in my Reddit post was just fine. I've owned this one for about a year, over a year-ish, before giving it to the neighbor boy to play with, and it stopped working. When I got it back, it wasn't working, but this one was, so I broke them down to compare. And my problem was, well, the problem between the both of us was that you could get the hammer charging handle to do this. And that was it. That was all you could get out of the charging handle. You could not shoot it because you could not charge it. Somebody was so helpful and really wonderful and absolutely nice, and I am grateful that above this video in Reddit, there should be a video where the guy shows me the uppers. If you put in this rear piece backwards, it fits, but it won't charge. That was not the answer to this, but I spent more than a month trying to diagnose this before figuring it out. And I was comparing to this one. And I will break it down in just a second and explain what was broken. But I swapped the charging handle and upper innards into this one and vice versa. And this one still did not work. This one did continue to work. And even though the video up is telling me that something might have been backwards, I swapped them the same on this. But that doesn't mean I couldn't have made a mistake, because I swapped them back and forth several times. But in the meantime, it didn't solve my problem at all on this one. And this one continued to shoot just fine. So it was clearly not the actual part being broken on the upper. I figured it was lower. I thought it was something in here, because this actually does do the little release thing. Anywho, I am chopping what that function is. I am chopping it up. I am not prepared to do a video, but this video is overly owed. I promised it yesterday. Okay, so if I can put the phone down real quick to strip that gun down. Okay, so safety, no mag, clearly it's a BB gun. Check the breech, because people on my YouTube love to criticize me when it comes to tools or toys or guns. Okay, pop the pin out. Okay. Trigger. There we go. So let's get this in view best we can. So all of these looked good. They all looked the same as the other ones. This upper stuff looks good. I don't really know the name of this piece, but it clearly has the hammer in it. And this piece acts as the hammer and pushes the pin through, which is in fact the hammer for this really weird style. Let's see if I can get the camera. Yeah, see? Right there. Anywho, so when this hits, it makes the hammer come through. Well, the needle, the hammer, the punch, whatever you want to call things. When this piece comes through here, it activates the cylinder, the button on this side of the cylinder, which allows the CO2 to project out and behind the BB on this side. So this piece has to go up and down. And if you've watched the video above in Reddit, the guy's telling you this could have gone in backwards and it'll fit, but it won't charge. And that is a problem. To his credit, he was very nice, trying to help me. I don't think anyone's considered the stock, because a lot of people on that Reddit have like custom guns and stuff, but this is the stock that is a part of the gun. It can be removed via this pin, but the stock is designed for this gun, just as this stock is designed for this gun, and they'll probably be interchangeable because the guts on these are exactly the same. It's almost like they manufactured the entire gun and then changed out the handles and the buttstocks and the ink inside the plastic to make it a different color. Anywho, before I end up off subject, where the charging handle is, this piece is 2 rings. There's an inner ring and an outer ring. That the outer ring controls the inner ring. The inner ring moves by itself, and both ride on this needle or shaft, if you will. They're locked in place like this. If you rotate that detent area over to here, or if you push this button down, it comes out. And you don't want that to happen. My problem was that they were locked in right about here and wedged. Not sure what they were wedged on. And the inside ring did move. It's the outside ring that did not. That being said, when I go to charge it, this comes out. It has to come out here. And it took me a while to realize that when it goes out of here, it has to be going in here. And since this wasn't moving, there wasn't enough. And I ended up taking, well, I believe I called it something different in my explanation. But in all honesty, this is what I used. It was not a screwdriver. This is what I used to kind of play with the middle. And then I was trying to move the outside, and I kept looking at it, and I thought, well, this entire thing is so much bigger than this little ring. This bigger ring needs to go too. And that's when I got a flathead screwdriver and a hammer, and just as gently as I could, tapped it and managed to get it to snap back in place. Now it charges just fine because there's a place for the hammer to go. Now I've been really bad with names of things before, and I'll continue to be really bad with names after. That's part of my nature, and it's not going to change, no matter how many trolls on YouTube criticize me for using the wrong parts and names and things. So I am just uploading this to YouTube because apparently the video I desperately tried to post to Discord and well, not Discord, Reddit, would not post. He posted a video and it was great, and I really appreciate it, and I learned a little bit, but for some reason it wouldn't take mine. So, you know, these are interchangeable into either one of these guns. The internals are the same. The externals are pretty much identical. The we call it the jam assist button, does not actually do anything, you know, and these, you could probably swap these back and forth. They're the same I'm gonna call it a buffer tube. Y'all can yell at me if you want to, since this is not an actual gun. It may have a different name, but I'm guessing you could say that the buffer tube was messed up. See, when the handle charges, it's got to come way back here. It's inside the tube. It has to be. And my dumb self, I was concerned that because this action right here, I thought maybe this was restricting it, or maybe the trigger was restricting it, but that wasn't the problem. That was the issue that I had with these. And in case people are worried or concerned or curious, even though these are two different guns and they look like they're from two different brands, they both sell from the same Crosman box. They just have a different name on them. This one sells as the DPMS Panthers Arms SBR. And it says Crosman all over the box. It's the same gun. Now, this is the Crosman Full Auto R1. I believe this was the first gen, and I believe this is a second gen. I don't know if there's a difference, but this I definitely saw at Tractor Supply way before. Matter of fact, I've had that one for a year. I've had this one for a month before this one got back to me broken. So I'm making a big assumption that this is a second gen version of the same thing with a different name and a different design. The manual for this thing, this one right here, is actually showing this one with this buttstock. Let's see if I can find the manual. So much of a mess in here. Okay. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. It does not. The manual does not show a grip at all on the front. But other than the grip and the handles, they look the same. So, anywho, both of these have been available through Tractor Supply. That's probably where you would end up getting it if you wanted to put your hands on the box before buying it. It seems like Walmart has their steady set of models that they sell. They don't sell anything full auto like this anymore. They don't sell airsoft anymore. It seems like Dunham's has kind of dwindled down their options. You will probably not get something like this from there. So if you're looking at and interested at either of these, you're going to have to go to maybe the Crosman website. Both of these are available on there. I am not sponsored, but I'm just saying all of these things before we start getting messages and questions, because I'm not going to check Reddit very often. Those are just two wonderful BB options. There is a lot more of BB options for people who aren't going to, run full bullets. They are my go-to for if I'm really bored and shooting in the backyard, because my parents have officially turned the backyard into a farm, and now I have to be careful where I shoot because I might hurt something, and we have neighbors on either side of us, so I can't even shoot my bow and arrows anymore. I can't shoot anything loud because it'll scare the fainting goats. These are somewhat loud, but rather cool, and the goats seem to be happy with it, so we're good here. This is a happy medium of not having to stop and pump up a BB gun and just run in the clips and go. So I really enjoyed these, and I was freaking out when this one came back to me, what I thought broken. It had actually been dropped once, and it worked for a few minutes and stopped again. And so I know I'm going to get chewed up a lot for saying this, but what I used to free it up and make sure it stayed free was not Crosman air gun or BB gun oil. I actually used my Hops gun oil from the actual supply of guns I have. to make sure that it was working and all lubricated and pouring through. It was a smelly, odor-filled room full of joy to realize that that thing was back working again. And since I have put 5 magazines worth of bullets through it, and it's BBs through it, and it's running good. So I want to first thank the man above me for making the video on Reddit here, and for everyone at home or chilling on their phone at work that have found this through YouTube. One, I apologize for this video. I realize you don't really care, and that's cool, that's fair, that's fine. Since this is going on my Honest Tool Reviews channel, I want to say, as a entry-level gun to get someone interested in gun safety and a child trying to have some target practice fun, these guns are both really nice. I cannot give this one a score. Like I said, I've had it just a few months now. But this one I've had for over a year and just had that one single problem. I'm not sure how it started, and I'm pretty sure that it's over. It didn't cost me anything. So I'm going to give that one a 4 out of 5 as a educational / fun toy / tool, because it's got a cool factor. They're safe because you know that they're dangerous and you're not going to point them at yourself, but they're not super explosive, deadly, dangerous rounds. You can shoot this in your backyard. You can teach your child gun safety with it. You know, because, I mean, honestly, you can say, you know, make sure that you do all of the same stuff, preferably not in this order. Remove the magazine, charge the bolt, make sure the chamber is clear the chamber, set it down, don't muzzle flash people, all of that stuff. You can learn those things from these guns, and they're still really cool to shoot. So, you know, I'll give that one 4 out of 5, and this one will probably get a 4 out of 5 too. I can't give them 5 out of 5, and the biggest reason why is because the customizability on the stock, I am lost on this. I get that there's just one pin, I do, but that they don't have these aftermarket parts on the Crosman website, and I'm afraid to go playing with them. So I'm going to say that there's not that much changeability on these things. The lowers don't come out of the shell. They're not that manipulative. They're not that gun-like. So 4 out of 5, because it's just that one last factor of how customizable can you make your gun. So for everybody that was on Reddit that's listening to me ramble at this point, I'm sorry. I appreciate you watching this. I hope that it's been helpful for y'all, because there was no video about this anywhere when I started this adventure about 2.5 to 3 months ago, and I am so happy to see this wrapped up and to see that thing fixed. And be sure to watch the video for that guy above me. He's been really helpful, and that could definitely come in handy for someone, potentially even me later on in the future if I forget. So thanks again, and have a great day, and as always, stay safe out there.